Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Salem. And tonight our question comes to us from Nightscape 2008, who asks whether it is appropriate to honor a deceased loved one using Wiccan ritual even though the deceased loved one was not themselves Wiccan, or whether it would be better to use ritual from their own religion. Now, of course, any situation like this is ultimately a personal and/or familial decision. And what you really must do is to look inside your own heart and see what feels right to you. If it were me, I would use the rituals of my own religion to honor the deceased loved one, for a number of reasons. And the first and foremost is that based on my experience, I believe that when a person dies and fully crosses over, this sort of thing is not really an issue for them anymore. It doesn't necessarily mean that they lose those ties, but I've usually found that ancestral spirits are not particularly concerned with religious partisanship. Secondly, I feel that as long as you're coming from a place of love, the energy that you are sending out will be a positive, loving energy. And it's the energy itself, not the form that is being used to send it, that I think is ultimately important. And I also believe that what the spirit receives would be the energy sent, not necessarily the nomenclature of the ritual used to send it. So I don't really feel that for the spirits who have crossed over, the exact kind of ritual matters all that much. Rather, the spirit in which we do it and the love that comes from our heart to them is more important. Also, I personally feel that if you were to use someone else's ritual that you do not yourself believe in, I really don't know that I consider this to be a desirable thing. It depends, of course, again, on your own situation. It is a personal decision. And if you can do that ritual with a good heart, meaning it with your full heart, then by all means it's not inappropriate. But if you have reservations about it, say for example you left that religion and you left it under bad terms, to use that ritual is not necessarily a good thing. And it isn't necessarily really going to be what's going to send the kind of energy that you want to send to honor your deceased loved one. If it were me, again, what I would do is I would simply light a candle and say a prayer, which is good for all religions. And I would talk to my deceased loved one as if they were still there with me, which in spirit they are. And I don't really see that, again, I don't really see that ritual form is going to make a difference to the spirit when they have crossed over. In my experience, when a spirit crosses over, what you're dealing with afterwards is their higher self. Most of the limitations that we have in this life tend to drop away during that process. And so I think that you will find that even if this was a cause of contention during life, it probably will not be when the spirit has crossed over. So those are my thoughts on the matter. I hope it's helpful, and until next time, may you blessed be. Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Salem. And I'm very pleased to announce the brand new World of Witches Museum program book full of stories and pictures from our museum here in Salem. And you can have your very own copy for just $9.99. Find it today at witchghoulstore.com.